Hello. In this lesson, we cover rates from graphs. But what does rate mean? When you compare two quantities, if the two quantities are related and we want to see how one quantity changes as the other quantity changes, then we're talking about the rates. But in rates, we tend to have the second quantity as 1 unit. Right, so as we go through this lesson, it becomes more clear. For example, when we say that the rate of consumption of fuel for a car is 10 km per liter. This is an example of a rate. What is the two quantities that we are comparing? 10 kilometers, so that's the distance, and here we're talking about liters, which is fuel. So we're comparing liters of fuel or fuel versus kilometer versus fuel. As you can see, we are saying 10 kilometer per liter. In front of liter, there is no number. So that means 1 liter. So that means 10 kilometer for 1 liter. We can do that from graphs. We can work out the rate from graphs. I've got a graph here. This graph is about filling water in a tank versus time. So here the two quantities we are talking about is time and water. How much water we have inside a tank as it is being filled. Okay, now how much water is in the tank initially? All right, so we're going to see how much water we have in the tank initially. Initially means when the time is when the time is 0. So at time 0, we see the water also is 0. So the answer to that is there is no water or 0 amount of water. So 0 liters. That's how much we have in the tank initially. How much water is in the tank after 1 second? So that is 1 second, and we see that after 1 second we have 2 liters. So 1 second on the time axis, we look at 1 and we go up to hit the graph, and then we go across to read the amount of water. So in 1 second we have 2 liters. So the answer to that is 2 liters. The next question is, what is the rate of filling of the tank? So this tank is being filled. Of course, we are talking only about this section so far. What is the rate of filling of that? So we said that in 1 second, we have an amount of 2 liters flown into the tank. So we can say 2 liters for 1 second. So 2 liters per second. Again, as you can see, there is no number in front of, in the left hand side of the second. So that means just 1 second. So 2 liters for 1 second. That is the rate of filling the tank for this part. Then what is the rate of filling the tank in the section B? So that's section B. We want to see how fast the tank is being filled. So that is another word for rate, fast. So how fast the tank is being filled here. As you can see, the time goes by because the time is changing from 1 to 3, but the amount of water in the tank stays the same, which is 2 liters. So there is no water flowing into the tank. So the rate is 0. So 0 liters per second. And the next one, what is the rate of filling the tank in section C? Now we got this. Here again, as you can see, the amount of water increases with time. We want to see what is the rate here, just for this section. All right, now we got to focus only on this section. And we want to see for this section how much time we are talking about. So that section starts from a time of 3. The time here is 3 at the start and ends at the time 5. So we are talking from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. That is 2 seconds. All right, so the time for section C the time we're talking about is, as we said, 2. You can count this 1, 2, or you can say that it's gone from 3 to 5. 3 to 5. You can subtract this. So 5, time at the end, take away 3, time at the start, that is 2 seconds. Okay, now let's see how much the amount of water has changed for this section. For the amount of water, this starts at 2 liters. That's our start. That's 2 liters. And ends at 5 liters. So it's gone from 2 liters to 5 liters. So how much water we are talking about? So for water, we had 5 liters at the end, and at the start of that section we had 2 liters. So 5 take away 2 is 3 liters. So 3 liters has flown in 2 seconds. Okay, 3 liters has flown in 2 seconds. Now, how do we say that in terms of rate? As you can see, in rate, we're talking about second without a number here. That means only 1 second. Okay, so I've got 3 liters in 2 seconds. So that means I need to divide 3 by 2 to see how much I get for 1 second. That is 1.5. So the rate here is 1.5 liter 1.5 liters per second. So because as I said, that 3 is for 2 seconds. We want only for 1 second, so we got to divide by 2 to see how much liters for 1 second. And that is the answer. Now if they wanted to go further and tell me what is the rate of the filling of the tank as a whole. So if they told me this, I got to look at it as a whole, and I see that the amount of water has gone from 0 to 5 for the whole curve, for the whole graph, and the time also has gone from 0 to 5. So 5 liters for 5 seconds. So that becomes 1 liter for each second. So if they ask me to find the rate for the whole, that will be 5 liters, 1 liter for 1 second, or 5 liters for 5 seconds, which becomes 1 liter per second. That is all for this lesson. Thank you for your attention.